Imagine a major crossroads from your own past. Now, imagine if you had made one choice differently and your entire life had taken a much darker turn. In Jon Fosse's book series Septology, specifically the volume I Is Another, we meet an aging painter named Aslay. He lives a quiet, solitary life along a remote stretch of the Norwegian coast. But just down the road lives another man, also named Aslay. He looks identical and shares the same profession, yet his daily reality looks completely different. This story leaves behind the typical tropes of science fiction or clones to focus on the metaphysical weight of a single fork in the road of one man's life choices. These two men represent our unexplored what-if moments, finally given a face and a life of their own. On the first path, our main Aslay is sober and has found a fragile sense of peace, even while carrying a heavy burden of grief. Much of that weight comes from the loss of his wife, Aless, whose memory continues to shape his everyday. On the other path, the second Aslay lives in isolation, lonely and consumed by a severe struggle with alcohol. Despite their different circumstances, both men are actually grappling with the exact same spiritual pain. Their lives show how peace and self-destruction are simply two different ways of reacting to the same unbearable loss. The main Aslay survives this grief through his daily commitment to his canvas. He treats painting as a profound spiritual duty, a practice that goes far deeper than a career or a casual hobby. For him, the act of painting is a direct, faithful way of communicating with God. In Fosse's world, art is the active search for light within a heavy, encroaching shadow. Those shadows represent the persistent weight of his grief. It is always there, pushing back against the light he tries to create. By finding the right colors every day, Aslay keeps himself from falling down the darker path taken by his double. Eventually, Aslay drives into the city of Björkvin to deliver his latest paintings to a gallery. During the drive, the rhythm of the road causes his present reality to blur into his memories. He finds himself back in his teenage years, moving away for school, studying art in the city, and meeting his look-alike. To capture this, Fosse uses slow prose, long sentences without any periods that loop together to mimic the way our thoughts actually drift. This style reflects the reality that grief and memory rarely follow a straight line. They circle back and overlap constantly. Aslay experiences his past as an active current running alongside him, every bit as present as the road beneath his wheels. In a poignant moment in the narrative, the sober Aslay eventually steps in to care for the other Aslay's dog. Tending to the dog suggests that we must care for the broken, darker versions of ourselves, rather than trying to cast them out. We can't simply delete our regrets or the difficult what-ifs that haunt us, but through art and faith, we can look at the darkest parts of our lives and still choose to paint with light. Consider your own paths, and if you're ready to experience this hypnotic story for yourself, Aslay's world is waiting.